So the Dead Space remake has been in production, and with the release date in January 2023, I'm pretty hyped for it. I got into the Dead Space series back in 2021 and I loved them. They aren't exactly masterpieces, but I can understand where people are coming from when they say they are. Yes, I know, I'm extremely late to the party, and sorry if I have been sleeping under a rock for all this time. Dead Space 1 was an awesome game. The controls were smooth despite the clankiness. The atmosphere and sound design were superb, unique, fresh, full of inspiration. The monster designs were creepy, while not all that disturbing, left a very good impression on me. The story and lore were great, characters were decent, and graphics, while they have aged, still hold up mostly well. But there were some rating issues, some glitches that could have been fixed, like some objects I carried despawned when I left an area. Still, they weren't too immersion-shattering. Dead Space 2 was an improvement. The graphics were better, the gameplay was more polished, the action was fun and satisfying, the lore was great, characters were good, monster design was fun, and well, I guess whatever has been said more times than I can count. Dead Space 3, while I haven't finished that game, so far it's not that bad. Well, not as good as the other two, I'd say. It's alright. It had the best art style, the gameplay, while a bit frustrating, still felt good or at least decent. While the gameplay I believe shouldn't have been changed that much, still wasn't awful, and was good in its own right. The story, while sort of corny, and had some unnecessary elements, like the love triangle and the fantastical discovery feel it had in there. By fantastical, I mean it felt like an adventure story, which isn't bad, but it just doesn't fit too well with Dead Space. Still, it's not that bad as people say it is. The monster design is probably my favorite in the series, which I'm sure people are going to massively disagree with me. Sorry about that. And the characters, while they were kind of weak, I feel like Isaac and Carver made up for most of them. Then there's the other forms of Dead Space media. I've seen Dead Space Downfall, the motion comic Aftermath. I watched the cutscenes for Dead Space Extraction, Ignition, and the mobile game. I feel like the motion comic and the movie for the first Dead Space were better than the rest. Aftermath isn't the worst thing ever made, but yeah, it does have some choppy CGI. And the art style for the motion comic and Downfall could use some improvement, but overall I like them all. This video is going to go over the Dead Space remake and the hate it has been receiving for some time. While there appears to be more praise than hate, some of the people who hate the remake or dislike it have some really stupid points. I want to clarify. We should all have our own opinions and not judge others for liking something we don't like. And I'm good with that. But there are some points where I feel like it just doesn't seem fair or the person is too close-minded, and his or her points just really don't sit too well with me. This video is going to go over why I massively disagree with these people, and why the remake is a better idea for Dead Space's revival than Dead Space 4. Don't get me wrong, I would like to have a Dead Space 4, but I feel like the remake would have to be a better option. Also, please do not attack the people I'll mention in this video. I don't want this to start a negative impacting chain of events here, so please don't attack anyone. It's only going to cause more drama and I don't want to deal with that, at least not for this topic, despite the fact that this video just might cause said drama.
Isn't life dandy?
Still, just don't, please. But just in case, I will crop out the names and profile pictures of the people's comments I'll show. This video will be split in different sections of each type of hater's reasons to why the game won't be good and why Dead Space 4 should be made. I will also try to give my own points to further add to my reasons why Dead Space Remake is a good idea. Without further ado, let's dive into this. The game is a remake, not a reboot. Motive have said that they will be expanding on the story and not change or replace things. Do they even know the difference, or are they just pulling whatever thought comes to mind and trashing on it for the sake of trashing it? Because they think Dead Space 4 will sell better than a remake. The reason that's not the case is because it's been roughly 9 or 10 years since Dead Space 3 was released, and 5 or 6 years after Visceral Games was shut down. Why would EA start revival on Dead Space by making a 4th game when Motive never worked on the Dead Space series? Starting the series again with the 4th game sounds more like a disaster, if anything. The team at EA Motive want to learn more about the series before moving on to sequels. Also, the point about remakes being lazy. Just look at the Resident Evil 1 remake in 2022. It added a lot of stuff that expanded on the story. Another reason why a remake is a better idea is because of the way the series was left off back at 3. In the main story, it ended with Isaac and Carver being killed by falling to their deaths, and in the DLC, he and Carver were killed by the Brethren Moon. Also in the 4th game, Ellie was the main character, and considering the cheesy love triangle and how her character was downgraded in Dead Space 3, yeah, no. Playing as Ellie would just release more of a disaster, or just make it more hard to get into. Number 2. It's unnecessary. Lazy garbage, there's no point of it. This is one of the points that makes me disappointed. I feel that people who judge the remake haven't even seen Motive's developer live streams. If you did, you'd realize that this isn't just some average remaster or anything. They've improved on the gore, expanded the maps, remake them from the ground up, add more depth to the sound, make sound more realistic. I'm also assuming that they somehow didn't see the beta message at the bottom. The point of the remake is to give something new and unique, along with building on what came before to give a fresh experience and perspective for new and old players. Just look at FNAF Plus. It's expanding on the original, giving new designs, slightly more story elements, and more kinds of content like multiple UIs. Even that game is opening up for new players. It looks like a remaster. It looks bad. The original looks better.
You're lying.
Fuck, it's one of the more baffling complaints. How the fuck does it look like a remaster? Could they care to elaborate? How much do you want to bet their excuse is the original and holds up and that it's not Visceral Games? Looks bad? Fuck no. Looks better, in fact. It's still in beta or alpha, in progress, and it's in progress, and it still looks good. Sorry, this point just annoys me so badly. Also, for the remaster part, how is it a remaster? The level layout is much bigger. Some areas have been replaced. Just look one of the zero gravity sections in the first Motive Dead Space livestream. How is that just a remaster? No. The sound is relatively the same. In what way does it suck exactly? Okay, maybe the sounds for the weapons are weak, and some sounds are missing, like Isaac's footsteps for his suit. Also, how exactly is the sound a downgrade? It's more on the upgrade side. Like the sounds being affected by the walls. Isaac's voice is affected by his health. So much other things. Also, the sound in the engine room is good. How is it bad? How is it inferior? How the hell does this look like a walking space simulator? Funny, because walking is also what you do in Dead Space. Just walk to certain locations, collect items or keys, then backtrack to the tram and such. In Dead Space 2, you are constantly on the move, killing enemies while trying to get to the government sector. Why are you calling the remake a walking space simulator? Looks like crap. The original atmosphere is lost. Everything is shiny as hell. I'm sorry, but how is everything shiny? It all looks really dark and dirty. Are you blinded easily? Do you need glasses? I disagree. I think in-home engines are better and have more art in their art style. This is a personal thought of mine. I don't mind public engines being used, but I think games with those graphics get a bit too unrecognizable, or just start to look the same in some way. Oh God, this is the worst comment I've seen. I need to rant about this, but this person is simply idiotic. If the fans who are mad about the level designs because they have changed simply need to rethink their life choices. Also, what the fuck is wrong with getting feedback from fans? It shows EA Motive are good people who care for the project. Just what is wrong with this idiot? Sorry, just my God, there's a lot of takes that are considered hot or garbage, but this kind of tops them all. This is just by far the most stupid comment I've ever heard. Just, my God, why do these... Seriously. Diablo and Dead Space have seemingly different developers or publishers. Also, you're comparing the remake of a dungeon crawler released last year to a survival horror game that isn't out yet. Also, it's more than just updated visuals. How the fuck can you not understand that? How many times do I need to say this over and over? But sorry, it doesn't look like these people understand. God damn it, shut up already. It's not even a typical remake. It's more of an expansion. Look at the Resident Evil 1 remake again. Like, just look. The game's even on... Never mind. The complaints the Dead Space remake gets is really unwanted and unnecessary. Despite what you think of EA reviving Dead Space for a quick buck, isn't that true with most gaming companies like Sony or Activision? Yes, I know, there are developers out there who massively care about making enjoyable games, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily an awful thing. Like the way Scott Cawthon's FNAF series with the amount of other media, and even though Scott really cares about his games, but you know what I mean, right? Yes, I know I made a stupid decision comparing FNAF to Dead Space. I'm aware of that, and the fact that I'm going to get pounded in the comments section. What will I do when the remake comes out? Simple. I'll give it a fair shot. I won't pre-order. I will give it caution depending on feedback for other people. I won't buy it on day one, though it depends how much money I got in my Steam account. I don't have a newer generation console like the PS5 or Xbox Series X or S, but I do have a PC, and it's only a year old, so it should be fine. I will stream the game on my channel so I can look back on this remake. I do think the remake deserves the support it gets. Hell, even Glenn Schofield's excited for it. Honestly, from my perspective, it's the first time I've seen an original creator be excited for a new company working on his or her IP. Thank you for watching. Sorry if my ranting went out of hand or didn't make sense. And again, do not attack the people I've shown you in this video. I just wanted to get a point across. Subscribe for more content, and I'll see you later.